Can I see your, what's this? Phone saver. Ano ba tawag doon? Wallpaper. Screensaver.
How do I go there?
It's a picture of your wife. Wow.
Of course.
Of course.
Who else?
Tagal na, no? It's been a long time, since I last seen Chris. I see you everywhere, but parang 2018, I was still
2018
covering.
ba?
2018.
When you were doing the PBA?
When I was doing the PBA.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you remain and you look the same. Paano yun?
Talaga?
Like, how?
You think so?
Yeah.
A little more wrinkles and higher hairline here and there.
But how are you? It's been quite a minute. Doing a lot of different other things other than basketball.
Actually, I'm back to basketball, but not competitively. I'm joining some leagues. Yeah, with my barkada, with my schoolmates. Just a nice way to connect again and to stay fit. That's one of my priorities this year. Is I turned 40 last year. I'm turning 41 this year. It's really to stay healthy and physically fit.
So let's talk about basketball muna, because that's where I first had I met Chris Tiu back in college.
In the UAP days pa, you were courtside reporter for UE, di ba?
Ayun.
Oh,
NU.
NU ba? NU ba UE?
NU.
Close enough. Two letters.
So, na-cover ko si Chris, UAP and Ateneo. Then, of course, Gilas with Coach Raiko Toroman. And then, Rain or Shine with Coach Yengyao. Among the three, which one is yung pinaka, sa'yo na chapter? Pinaka masaya,
it's hard
pinaka memorable.
Iba't ibang experience bawat isa. But I would say the most memorable would be maybe my Ateneo days, and pati na rin Gilas. Kasi iba yung pride representing the country, wearing the Philippine team jersey. Ateneo was also something else because the school spirit was so strong. We were playing for such a strong cause for the community, and the support was so overwhelming. We really so passionate about what we were doing at the time. We were working so hard and we're so emotionally involved as well, and it was really an experience to remember.
And just, talking about it now makes you smile, remembering your Ateneo days.
Yeah, for sure. That's why recently we had this Pinoy Liga Cup that we joined with.
And you played LaSalle in the,
is
it finals na yun?
And then the elimination lang yun.
Parang finals na yung intensity when I saw it.
Yeah, and I wore the Ateneo jersey again. Well, it's not official jersey, but it's blue and then it has the Eagles with Doug Kramer and JC and Tal. Again, after 20 years since we last played together, or since we last, they played in the PBA as well, but we didn't play for the same team. So after 20 years, we were reunited, and it was fun. It was really fun. Parang it just brought back so many good memories, and even without talking or practicing, things were just flowing naturally. How we moved, how we, related to one another inside the court and outside. And so so, that the UAP Ateneo chapter was one of the most memorable, I would say, of my basketball career.
And I've always wondered, because in all of your basketball, seasons, you always wore jersey number 17. Was there any significance why you're number 17?
It's a lucky number.
Really? You believe in those? Like,
of course.
Mga pampaswerte.
Oo naman.
Talaga?
The Chinese kasi 8 swerte, di ba? So 1 plus 7 is 8.
Oh.
But I also wore 8 sometimes when I was in the national team.
Yeah.
Kasi you could only choose numbers from 4 to 17.
Correct.
At 4 to 15 lang. And when I first wore the number 17 in grade school, or no, maybe, yes, in grade school in Xavier, we won the championship right away, and I was MVP. And that was also the year when my youngest brother was born. He was born on March 17. Si Christian, sabi ko, swerte tong number, I'll keep. And then, sunod-sunod yung mga lucky
flow ng
achievements. And the flow, it just kept coming.
And
things kept happening.
I don't know if you've, perhaps you do, but you were drafted first round, 7th pick. If you put that together, that's...
Malayo yung 7th pick, pero
no, but
drafted,
first round, 7th pick,
1-7.
1-7. That's still a 17. So I thought, bakit kasi? So yun pala. Ano pa yung ibang mga... Well, I'm a firm believer na may swerte, pero a lot of that, you also made way
hard work
for the swerte to come in.
Of course.
So ano pa yung mga pinaniniwalaan mo na swerte? Ikaw ba sa shoes? Sa mga rituals before the game. Did you had something like that before?
Nothing unusual, but I like to stick to routine and I don't like changing a lot of shoes. Eh. Kaya yung Adidas na sponsor ko for the longest time, I'm sure they're like, sana magbago na ng sapatos para he could show all the different lines. Pero ako, I like to stick to one model. If I like something, I'm comfortable with it. I don't like changing. So yung Pro model was my favorite model. I always wore the same shoe. Iba-iba lang ng kulay, iba-iba ng design, but it's the same model. You feel it. I like how it fits my foot and everything. Routine lang. I just have a routine the way I eat and rest and prepare before a game. Any lucky things that I do? Wala naman.
Wala
unusual.
May isa pa akong 17 na mauungkat.
Ano?
PBA, hulaan mo, PBA days.
Okay.
17 din, may connection. Na medyo naging viral. No?
No. Ano?
Manny Pacquiao.
Oh, yeah.
He's wearing jersey number 17. And his first converted three-point shot,
yes.
Ikaw ang bantay.
Ako ang bantay. Ako ang hindi bumantay. Ako ang hindi bumantay. Kaya nangyari ako kay Coach Yeng.
But how was that?
Napagalitan ako ni Coach Yeng.
Really?
For the first time. Sa harap ng buong team.
Bakit? Kasi open shot?
Kasi hindi ko daw binantayan eh. Hindi ko naman talaga binantayan.
Okay, this is many years after that, after that game. We had Coach Yeng there too a couple of weeks back. Pinantayan mo ba o pinatira mo talaga?
Ano ba yung tamang sagot? Ano ba dapat yung sagot?
Basta shumut.
Nandun ako, binantayan pero hindi masyado. Binantayan naman. Hindi lang aggressive. Yeah. No, but that was a funny moment because I remember in that game after he scored his first field goal, syempre nagwalaan yung crowd.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Diba?
Grabe.
And then so the halftime, I was interviewed by, I forgot who, maybe Carla yata or one of your colleagues. And then kami ni Manny in interviews. Pagpasok ko ng dugout, I was smiling kasi lamang naman kami. Pero lahat ng teammates ko nakatingin sa akin. Pagpasok, hindi na sila sa dugout, tahimik sila, lahat sila nakatingin. Ako nakangiti pa ako. Then pag-upo ko, ayan na si Coach Yeng. Nag-sermon na siya. I don't care, kahit senador pa yan. We treat everybody the same. We play hard. And because of that, you will forever be posterized. Or tutorized ba sabi niya?
Tutorized.
I'm not sure what he posterized. But I remember he was mad. And that was probably the only time that he really got mad at me. And that made me appreciate him kasi he was so competitive. Kahit sino pa yan, he would treat everybody the same way. And that was just the standard of excellence. So that was a funny moment, and my teammates and I would always laugh about it. And we ended up winning the game by
I know,
a
but
margin.
I remember that too, and I'm sure a lot of people would remember that. So mag-inisip po talaga, may connection talaga yung 17 sa'yo.
Meron din,
diba? Kasi Senator then was wearing jersey number 17.
Yes, that's right. And he was my co-host in my first show ever. With the other network, when I first got into media, he was my co-host. And actually, one of the reasons why I agreed to try hosting is we did a program that showcased mga Filipino talents and achievements at the time. So kaibigan talaga kami ni Kuya Manny. And so it was
you got to play also with Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, that was
the national team.
Yes, that was also one of the highlights of my career. I think being able to play with JC, who was really an international star, and for us together to represent the country in the Asian Games. Although medyo kinapos kami sa result ng tournament na yun, but to be able to compete with him and to see how good he was up close, that was one of the highlights of my career. And to play against some of the NBA stars also.
Correct.
When sila Kobe at the time, Kevin Durant at their prime, when they came here, we got to compete against them. It was surreal. I remember waking up the next day, parang thinking, did this really happen? I just was guarding and competing against Kobe, Durant, D-Rose, James Harden, all these superstars then.
It was
diba?
an all-star.
All-star.
Right.
Parang, that was the time, one time when I woke up the next day, parang, nangyari ba talaga to? So,
it was
surreal.
it was such a eventful season, one thing after the other. Kasi walang tigil yan eh, di ba? That's the life of a basketball player too. Pretty much there's no off season.
Yeah.
You play basketball the whole time, and from college to pro, ganun yung naging schedule mo. But you retired.
That was our life.
But you retired so early. Why?
I felt I wanted to do other things as well. I mean, when I was playing professionally, I was doing business, I was doing TV work and my advocacies. But I felt like, syempre, even if you're playing professionally, you play 3-4 hours a day. Even if you're not playing, your body needs to rest. You know, you cannot abuse your body going all over the place, and your mind also needs to be focused. You cannot go into the game with your mind coming from another meeting, thinking about strategy for this business, dealing with something. So, if you're a pro athlete or a coach, you know, it's still a full-time thing.
Correct.
You take care of your body physically and mentally. So I felt like I wanted to pursue other things na rin. I mean, I'm getting old, and if I wanted to try something new and I would retire when I was 40, I mean, how much can I learn na lang? Diba? At least I retired when I was 32. Medyo, I still have the physical health, the mental capacity to learn new things. And not just learn, but to be good at it, hopefully, and great at it. So I decided, oh, okay na. I've been playing basketball long enough. The friendships made were one of the most important things and memorable and impactful being in the basketball world. Tayo, di ba? If not for basketball, di man tayo nagkakilala. And most of the people here sa TV5, sa Signal. So it really opened a lot of doors talaga for me. Yeah.
And it's one thing to know when to stop. I know when to like finally say, okay, I can do other things. And there's so many other things that you're doing. I don't know which one to start with. You were in Ateneo, you opened a chicken.
Yes, that was my first business.
Right? That's your first business. Tell us about it.
Yes, we opened with my 2 other Chinese classmates and best friends. We opened a store called Chinky Chickens.
Chinky Chickens.
That was our first business while we were still students in Ateneo. Yeah, we sold everything chicken in the student mall. Rice meals, chicken teriyaki, chicken lollipop, chicken nuggets, everything chicken.
At nagkaroon pa kayo ng branch in another school.
Yeah, we opened another branch in the neighbor in Miriam beside.
Right.
And then after that, I got into food after college. So we brought in this brand called Happy Lemon.
I love the Coco Rock salt.
Rock.
Oh my God, with cheese. Please. That's the best.
Thank you. So that was, tagal na rin pala, maybe 2010. That and some other food brands. Those are my first businesses in food. They're still around. Yes. My partners are running that. But I've started pursuing other businesses as well.
Well, of course, it's not a secret. Your family has been in the hospitality business. Yes. And you also ventured yung sayo, the Casa...
Casa Camari. Yes.
It's
a little passion project with my wife and some friends. Yeah, we opened a small farmhouse that's open to the public. Now we have a lot of guests that do team buildings and strategies and just outings there. It's nice in the middle of Bulacan, where the cooler upper part of Bulacan overlooking the Sierra Madre. So it's very quiet and it's a nice passion project for us. It's a lot of farming also and community development.
I was gonna say, because I saw a lot of videos about it already, and I was looking at it and sabi ko, parang it's okay. Of course, your wife is very involved with it, but at the same time, it says so much about Chris Tiu. Parang it has your footprint, your mark in everything, even your pianos there.
Yeah, I brought my piano there. Oh, you watched that? You did your research.
Yeah, I mean, marami kang, kumbaga, it's a project, it's a business, but it still is you.
Yeah, that's important. And everything that I do, all my businesses, I have to get into it, not because I want just to make money, or not really so much for the money. Of course, that it's important that it's profitable because it has to be sustainable. Otherwise, you don't want to keep pouring money in. But at least the project or the business has to be something I feel strongly about. That's how I decide to get into something or not.
And these businesses, syempre kasi as you mentioned, it's not just about you. It's also, the community. You bring them with you.
Yeah, for sure. Like this one, the Casa Camari, I've invited some of my closest friends to be with us because we want to share the joy, share the experiences together. Parang I feel like it's undertaking a project is nicer when it's shared, and a shared experience with the people you love the most. And also in the community there in Bulacan, we're able to uplift their lives, provide livelihood, and support them with within the ecosystem. But yeah, even in the other projects, I like working with individuals that I like and that kind of share the same values.
Right. Kasi let's say in that alone, you provide, provide employment, diba? You provide a place for them to showcase their products.
We buy produce from the farmers nearby in the community.
Yeah.
And then we provide training to uplift their skills in the F&B, in the hospitality industry also.
Galing. Parang pwede nang for Chris Tiu for president. Diba?
Baka isipin nila,
hindi tatakbo po. Hindi tatakbo si Chris. Pero once upon a time, you were also part of Sangguniang Kabataan.
I was an SK chairman for
Ang tagal,
5 years yun. Kasi that time, walang election. The delay.
Extend ka.
Oo, 5 years yata SK chairman. And then, I'm 3-term barangay Kagawad in Makati.
Kasi nakita ko dun eh. Sa pangalan mo. Sabi ko, chairman.
I think I was 17 years in public service also.
What did you learn in public service for over a decade?
It was fulfilling and very satisfying. It's as much as it comes with a lot of attention and a lot of public scrutiny, but being in the position in any government position, it's such a powerful platform to help people and make their lives better. So I hope the leaders we elect, the leaders that are put there in positions, really would use it for the improvement and the uplifting of the lives of the Filipinos.
And after Sangguniang Kabataan, you didn't pursue na. You could have won. Landslide.
Hindi na. Hanggang barangay Kagawad na lang, okay na yan.
And then, of course, a lot, of course, of you now get to spend and nurture then your family. How's it like being outnumbered? It's all girls in your household. Ikaw lang mag-isa.
Girls
How
talaga,
is that?
Literally. Well, the good thing, I have daughters and they're very clingy to their dads.
What do they call you?
Dada.
Dada.
Pa. But it's so, the joy that they bring is priceless. Pag uwi mo pa lang, pagod ka, and then just so excited to see you. They jump and they run to you and give you a big hug and kiss, and just be there, nagkwentuhan lang kami and playing. It's asaya, di ba? Of course, initially, it's tiring to raise them. I'm also very hands-on and strict and really monitor them closely and guide them and train them at this age. Nakakapagod din minsan, di ba? It can get overwhelming. I'm sure parents like you yourself, you know how it is, di ba? But the rewards are just, immeasurable.
It's hard to put into context, the joy that kids bring.
Yeah.
Are you a girl dad? Would you say?
What do you mean by?
Parang malapit sa'yo talaga yung mga anak mo, and regardless of what happened, talagang makapapa sila. I'm sure their mother is, of course, up there in the pedestal, but...
Yes, certain things. Pagdating sa play, syempre daddy yan. Discipline, both of us, but I think more my wife.
Really?
So I'm glad that she does that, the hard part.
She took that role.
So yung disciplining ko, minimal na lang. Pag sobra-sobra na talaga, di na niya kaya, then I step in. But generally, I think they're quite behaved, they're respectful, and they have at least the important values already in place. So,
I'm sure.
konting supervision and training na lang, exposure. Thanks to my wife, she really, holds the fort at home and does all the dirty stuff, the hard stuff.
Sa basketball, in our term, the ones that we don't see in the stat sheets.
Yeah, exactly. The intangibles.
Siya yun.
And she's still working, so...
I saw, yeah.
She's also very busy, and there's a lot of just a demanding job as well. So.
And because you mentioned train, I'm not sure, are your girls also into sports?
I'm exposing them. Yes, they are into sports.
Okay.
They're trying a lot of things now. They're still trying to figure out what to really pursue. So they're doing gymnastics, dancing, ballet, tennis. Sometimes when I play golf, I bring them along. So pitching and putting sila. Basketball. I started playing basketball again,
nice.
and then they would tag along, so they'd watch me play. And then minsan when I'm shooting din sila. And the arts, they're also into arts. Yeah.
They play the piano too, because you played the piano very well.
Okay lang. Not very well, but I like to play the piano. They play the piano and they like to sing also. And dance, they love to dance.
Kanino nagmana yun? Yung
Siyempre sa mommy. Yung dancing, mommy yun for sure.
No, but
that's one thing I cannot do
dami
talaga.
Mong videos that you're playing the piano, and it's just, it's a calming, it's a calming content to watch.
Yeah, for me also, I do it because it's like therapy, and then it calms me also. And when I'm in the mood, sige, I play, and I feel like posting, sige na, tugtog para maalala natin. Sometimes I play it, I'll never play it again. At least pag na-record ko and it's documented, maalala ko lang. It's just easier to look back, di ba, sometimes when you post it.
Kasi when we see you, we know that you're a very talented basketball player. Your businesses are, successful. Ano
Not
pa
all.
ba? You finished well and you did well in school. Pogi pa, grabe. Parang nung naglabas si Lord ng blessings, nasa labas ka ng nanay mo. But how do you manage all of these all together? Because you're wearing so many hats.
Yeah, so many.
So many different roles, various capacities. A father, a husband, boss, business owner, and all of that.
I think that's also my curse. I like to do everything. I need to know when to stop. If I have an idea, I really think about it and then pursue. Or sports, I like to try everything. Like na I'm playing basketball, golf, tennis, all at the same time. Kaya minsan na-injure ako kasi ang dami ko pinagagawa. I don't know how to rest. And businesses also, I'm running so many companies right now. But it's you said the word, how do I manage it? I guess it's management, being able to work with teams. I think that's one of the when I was doing this Clifton Strengths coach, Clifton Strengths assessment, and one of my strong traits is really collaboration and working with people. And I'm able to work with individuals and teams that allow us to plan and execute the projects that we have in mind or that we envision. And that's the key word, and the team. And one of the beauty of being in basketball for many years is learning how to be a team player, whether you're in a leadership role or a role player. We've been through there, and utilizing the strength of the team allows us to do a lot of things. Even at home, it's a team effort.
Correct.
And your wife and your support system, support staff, diba? Being able to plan the schedules ahead and make things happen. Yeah, it's just planning, execution, and collaboration.
We see you in the power.
And prayer. A lot of luck comes from God. A lot of it
Correct.
comes from God. We can only do so much. At the end of the day, if it's His will, it'll happen.
Kasi sabi ko, when I go to the supermarket, I see Chris Tiu. Dun sa mga gatas. Tapos punta ka dun sa mga tubig, it's Chris Tiu again. It's like you become a role model, like a hero. How do you see? I mean, what would you say to a young boy who's going to titimpla ng Milo? Say it for that. At iinom. And then gusto niya maglaro ng basketball, magta-tryout siya.
Oh.
What do you tell this young boy?
I'll tell him to go for it and enjoy. The most important is that they are enjoying what they're doing. A lot of the parents not really push their kids, but I hope that the kids really enjoy what they're doing and they're doing it for the right reasons. Diba? If they pursue a sport and art, hopefully it's just to improve themselves as an individual, to grow, but also eventually use it as a tool to inspire others to share values, lessons that they've learned from what they're doing, the sport or the art or the whatever craft that they're pursuing. Yeah, but then again, it sometimes there's also that I feel awkward na they always the media or people view me as the role model and like perfect, because I'm not perfect. Far from that. Diba? We strive to be perfect. We make mistakes. We always have our flaws and shortcomings, but we try to always improve and get better and do the right thing. So it's a journey of improving ourselves. And until now, also keep learning new things. Even with relationships with my wife, it's you don't just take it for granted or leave it as is. You work on it constantly, every day, every single day.
What's in the pipeline in the next coming months? May mga aabangan ba kami na from Chris?
Nothing really.
We want to see you. We want to see you again in the Ateneo jersey. You might want to go to their games.
Well, yeah, like I said, I'm playing basketball again. We have this alumni league with some UAP and NCAA schools under the Pinoy Liga. I'm also joining this Filipino-Chinese league that we have for 40 and above. Actually, that's what got me starting. Got me to
40
play again.
and above.
40 na ako last year.
Category.
That I haven't until last year. I didn't touch a basketball for like 5 years prior to that. Maybe I meant shooting a little bit, but I haven't really played until last year because my school, Xavier School, asked me and begged me to play for them to represent the school. So of course, it's hard to say no to your school and to play with your old friends. So that was really fun. So since last year, I started playing a little bit of basketball again. Nothing big there. It's just really just for fun, camaraderie, and exercise with my barkada and my schoolmates. Businesses, we're doing quite a lot of interesting things all over the country.
And it's kind of related to, not just, again, profit, but also uplifting the community.
Impact, yes. Like utilities, water and wastewater treatment projects, some renewable energy, and then mga socialized housing for the poor. What else are we doing? These things that really I work closely with people on the ground, and I see how it impacts them, and it's very fulfilling. It's so fulfilling what you do. That's why I'm excited to go to work every day. I'm excited to pursue projects. There's a lot of challenges, totoo lang. Many challenges. It can be frustrating, pero you just have to keep powering through, keep trying to find solutions, and dig deep and pray.
And at the end of the day, this makes you happy.
Makes you happy.
I'm looking at you and you're smiling, telling us the story, and I know that with all the many things that you're doing, at the end of the day, it's tiring, but it makes your heart full.
Yes, for
happy.
sure. And I also want, I don't know if I should say it now, but we're also, one of my advocacies is science. No, I have a science program, the other network, and I want more and more kids to have an appreciation of science, because it's everywhere. And there's so many benefits to it. A lot of the young kids want to be content creators now, and that's their dream. Nothing wrong with that. But one thing we advocate is just to have an appreciation and maybe pursue a career in science. So yeah, we'll be doing some things in that space.
Para kumbaga, have them appreciate science in another way, so
Yes.
that
Science is fun.
It
It's
is.
fun. Yeah.
hindi lang mataas grade ko sa science, pero it was fun. Or sa math. Saan ka mas magaling? Science or math?
Math siguro.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Chris. We truly appreciate your time, because your time's valuable. And
Thank you for having me.
sana next time mas mahaba pa yung magiging
Kwentuhan
usapan
natin.
natin.
Oo naman. I'm just around. So if you need me, you know how to reach me.
And
Thank you for having me
all
also.
the best to the girls.
Yes.
Best regards
Likewise
to the girls.
to your family.
Thank you. Chris Tiu.
Thank you.